can find these. I know I get a lot of glazed eyes, and that's why we actually use a different technique, and we use the land trust as a fallback. This one's easier to understand, I think. It's a preemptive strike. That's what we nicknamed it. And here's how this one goes. So the land trust, we used that for a few years, and we still use it. Well, we found a cleaner way to do it. And basically, it's a sneaky way of assigning it. What we found out is that the banks will often cooperate and actually let you change it to your new buyer's name if you have a good excuse. You provide them with three things. Because what we learned kind of the hard way again is we said, hey, we have a new buyer, please, just this time, please, please, please. You know, and we noticed we got the same question every time. Okay, fine. Who are they? What's the relationship between you and them? Because if there's someone off the street, we're not letting you do it. And where's their proof of funds? Are they qualified buyer? So what we figured out is that if we beat them to the punch, that's why we call it preemptive strike. The second we get the buyer, we've got a letter. It says, this is our partner. And it doesn't, you don't have to get fancy on this letter. John Smith is our partner for tax investment reasons. It's better off in John's name. Here is John's proof of funds. So your buyer needs to have cash. This works for cash. You got John, this great deal. I need your bank statement. You put that in there, the letter that says who they are, and then you need just a piece of paper. Then you can say joint venture. John and I are officially partners. It doesn't have to be fancy. They just need to check off their list that there's some kind of relation there. If you submit that to escrow, about probably 3/4 of the time, they'll let you do it. Now, the sooner in the escrow process that you submit this stuff, the greater your likelihood that it's going to happen.
But when you first buy your offer, you don't even know who your partner on that deal is. You don't have that buyer yet because you haven't pitched the deal yet. You don't have it yet.
So it's three things.
Kind of,
Yeah. It's a catch-22, but it's three things that I would write down. Is go out there, make offers. When you get an acceptance, you're going to get your buyer. When you have your buyer, you're going to get their proof of funds. Write a letter that just says, you know, to whom it may concern. We would prefer to take title in my partner's name, and then just Google title company, get a joint venture agreement, something, you know, anything that shows an agreement, and submit those three things. And escrow, they'll grumble about it, but if you're successful, they'll drop all new paperwork, puts it in your buyer's name. You don't have to worry about the trust. Now, the thing that's important is to get paid your finder's fee, because once they put it in their name, you're out of the loop, and they control everything. So, you know, you might want to get paid unless you trust them. You know, sometimes you can. Yeah.
So, in other words, you're closing that escrow, you and your investor, right?
Your investor's putting all the money in. They're closing it.
Are they closing it in just their name?
It's their name.
Also, okay.
But you tell the bank and escrow and everybody that it's your partner and that you're doing this together.
Now, sometimes,
I'll make a point. Just as a broker, I've actually done that a few times, and actually for me it worked better closer to the closing, especially with cash buyers.
yeah, because they don't want to lose the
They
deal.
don't want the deal to fall through.
Right.
I've done that.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Sometimes they'll do it. They want to sell it as bad as you do. But we've had cases where hey, we're going to change it, and they go, no, you're not. You're not changing anything.
Are you doing a demand out of escrow to make sure you get paid at closing, or is he giving you a check
He's giving you a check.
Before you actually close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to know you and got to trust you.
Personally, I let them close it, deed it. Once it's in their name, then they can pay you.
We trust them. We give them the trust first,
But
because you're creating a lot of goodwill.
Okay.
You might not want to do that.
Okay.
You might want to get your money first, because you really, like Kurtis said, you are out of the loop.
just be aware that they control, they
You
hold
might
all the
lose
cards.
your- Yeah.
Well, why not just open up a second escrow and have your referral fee deposited in there?
Yeah.
You could do that.
You know, there's a lot of talk about double escrows and transit. That's another way. We've never done it. I actually bought, of course, wholesaling REOs just for that one purpose, to add to our arsenal way of doing it. I couldn't get a straight answer. I don't think the guy really does any wholesaling. I think he packaged a lot of information.
Yeah.
Because I'm asking these questions, and I'm not getting a straight answer. And, you know, he's saying things like, well, just tell the agent that you're wholesaling it. We're going, you want your deal to blow up and leave. You know, or he said, use your own escrow company. That's not going to happen. The
She
bank,
was talking about just, I think you were talking about putting the referral fee into
Yeah.
another escrow.
Oh, the
Yeah,
referral
your
fee.
referral fee in another escrow.
Yeah.
So
you
that-
could do
And
that.
you could do that.
We've done 100 of these, and we've never really done that. Because you got to pay the escrow fee, and it's just messy
And
and
you
it's
know what,
hard.
we've never been burned, well,
We have.
But those are buyers you're just not gonna deal with in the future.
that's right. And
That's right.
sometimes you have to give
Yeah.
them your trust first.
Right.
So, there's a lot of talk about the double escrow and go to A to B and B to C. It just doesn't work in our experience.
Are these investors coming in with cash, or are
Yes.
they getting loans? So they have to be
Yeah.
cash
All of our
buyers.
buyers have cash, and the
Got it.
reason that we get really good deals under contract is because we write them cash offers. And so then the buyers that we look for are cash buyers.
So
And
they
there's
have
plenty of them.
So they have $200,000 cash sitting there if they can do that.
Or more.
We're,
They write
Okay.
checks for houses all the time.
I will keep going. We're not in any kind of hurry, but I know that
Nobody-
it's past. You
Yeah.
guys want me to keep going?
Yeah.
My next thing is how to get the buyers.